The best of the morning to you. This is Monday with Friday, preparing you for a better week ahead. Sometimes in life, you've just got to move along. Whether it's a relationship you should leave or a motorist ready for road rage, sometimes it's best to move on. Maybe it's your job or some organization. Even for some church people, there comes a time to just mosey on forward, leaving the mess behind. But how do we know when to move along? Should I stay or should I go? Sometimes, even in the middle of great success, might be a time to leave a process or project and move along to contribute to the success of another enterprise. So, just when should we just move on? How do we know? Well, the ability first to know when to move on and then to execute it involves mental skills, emotional maturity, and strategic thinking, meaning you need to be a thoughtful information processing person with reasonable control over your emotions, the ability to plan a course of action, and the discipline to hold to the plan until it is fully executed. Let's examine some scenarios. First, it's time to move along when you have lost, but be careful to leave only the loss behind, not your dreams. Losing isn't bad. Stories abound of people who endured many painful failures and losses, but who, because they kept their dream and moved on from the loss, lived to see great success. That includes folks like Thomas Edison and his light bulb, J.K. Rowling and her Harry Potter series, George Lucas and his Star Wars trilogy, and folks like Michael Jordan and Oprah Winfrey in their respective careers. The man who lost the 2020 presidential elections needs to just move along, just like the woman who lost the 2016 presidential elections moved on out of the way. Move on when you've lost, but keep the dream. Lose the loss. Next, move on when it's not worth engaging a situation at all, or when engaging would cause escalation, not resolution. Not every fight is worth it, and some are beneath your dignity anyway. Walk away. Let's talk relationships. Although these are far more complex than I could address here, suffice it to say that when relationships become abusive or no longer life enriching, it's time to consider moving on. While a marital relationship suggests a deeper commitment to make a relationship work, when matters become so untenable, where perhaps only one side wants reconciliation, repair, and counsel, and the other side does not, and the abuse continues, it's really way past time to consider moving along. Of course, somewhere at the beginning, when Harry and Sally met, there might have been patent signs that screamed, "Move along!" Maybe your friends told you that, or relatives did, that were ignored to their later misery. Next, moving on is strongly advised when the thing on which you're tempted to spend energy and time would mean nothing to you later today or tomorrow or even next year. If it won't add value to your life or severely reduce it, walk away. Next, it's time to move on from a group, a team, or organization that has become ineffective, unwholesome, corrupt, or toxic when you have exhausted all measures pursuing correction. And some people leave the moment those things become evident, but responsible members do all they can to pursue organizational purity, propriety, and health. Now, when that fails, though, they may find one option left: an exit. Now, some leave quietly, but the best organizational practices suggest that there's value in leaving loudly, exposing the rot for the sake of the organization's cleansing. Here's a joyful reason to move on. When you've accomplished a purpose or realized a vision, celebrate that and move on. Don't fixate on being great. It's the fastest way to deflate. Some organizations that were wildly successful in the past and are now in decline may never crest again, even with time and resources thrown at them, unless they dissolved and restarted with a different format and even a different purpose. That's when it's time for a new thing and a new purpose. So why not give yourself something new for Christmas? Move on. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing. I am Michael Friday, and your week just got better. I'll see you again next week. Happy Monday, all the way to Friday.